9 seasons of Bar Rescue, Paramount Network, Sunday night at 10. I love it because on Sundays on the Paramount Network, you have 24/7 of Bar Rescue. I almost watched Bar Rescue over the Super Bowl, Jerry. Let's bring on Jon Taffer. What's up, John?
Welcome back.
Yeah, Torg Elliott, good to talk to you guys.
Yeah, you are one of our favorites. And before we get into the new season and the guests you have appearing, I want to tell you a trend that I've noticed. I've been waiting for you to come back on. I have noticed, because I'm out frequently, right? I've noticed a trend. Yeah. I think post-COVID, the general population, let's say, they're more willing to give the benefit of the doubt to an establishment in regards to higher prices and especially poor service. Have you noticed that? It's easy. I think, sadly, that's become the norm, and everybody seems to be okay with it now.
Yeah, it is sort of sad. Restaurants used to pride themselves on great service. We don't have the employees to provide that great service anymore.
And people understand.
We own the Taffer's Tavern in Boston. We have been through hell to try to find management for that store. We can't find people. We can't find employees. So you're right, it's a real challenge. And then the other issue is pricing. It saddens me to think that America's starting to get used to $20 hamburgers.
Yeah.
That in California, you go to McDonald's, a Happy Meal, a Big Mac is $18. A Big Mac, $18 freaking dollars.
Yeah.
So it's sad that society is getting used to that. I think we should continue pushing back on it myself. But as a restaurateur, I can't spend more than 33% of the dollars you give me on food. If I do, I don't make money. So as prices go up, I have to manipulate my menu prices to survive.
Right.
None of us like doing it. But we're stuck with it. California just passed a law that says you can't do surcharges. Some restaurants in California kept the menu prices the same, but then they hit you with a $2 energy surcharge, a $1 healthcare surcharge, and they would add all this stuff to your menu. I'm against that. I don't think that's
right.
But we can't avoid the higher menu prices. And you're right, guys. People are getting used to it now, and it's a trend that exists.
So therefore,
post-COVID, we're all more tolerant is probably the right word, right?
Yes. So therefore, if you are a business and you're remotely on the ball, I think you differentiate yourself from your competition because the bar is so low.
Exactly right. And that's this season of Bar Rescue. Guys, this is my most intense season ever. It's emotional as hell. And these people are real. I'm saying, guys, you can stand out today. You can capture customers. You can erode the competition. You can do all these things if you do it really well. And so many of them, guys, are stung, if you will, by the pandemic. So they're hesitant. They're in debt from the pandemic. They're scared to take chances and move forward. And they need a little stiff kick in the butt from Taffer to get going again.
John, I was going to ask you about that because I've seen, you've had over 200 episodes. I swear I've probably seen them all. But when you go into a restaurant, not only are you saving the restaurant, you save people's lives. Like if there's a marriage in trouble, you'll call out the guy. I remember the guy who was sleeping in and having his wife do multiple jobs while he was in a band, and you called him out. When things get heated, you get into someone's face, they get into your face. Have you ever felt that it was going to get close to a physical confrontation?
It's gotten close at times, but I got a pretty good sensitivity. I know how to manage through those things, and I want to bring them to that level because when I bring them to that level, that's when I can crack through. You know what I mean, guys?
Yeah.
In those moments of intensity. Let me give you an interesting thought. When a bar is failing, one of two things, or both of them can happen. Either it breaks your wallet or it breaks your family. This season, almost every bar I've rescued, it broke their family.
Wow.
They're losing their house. They were a two-car family. Now they're a one-car family. They don't have any money for their kids for Little League, for uniforms. And guys, the stories are heartbreaking. And you realize that every failing business is a failing owner. And, I drive through these towns and I see vacant stores. And I don't think of the business that failed. I think of the family whose life savings went down the tubes, who lost their dreams when that store closed. This is deep stuff. And families often don't recover from this financially or emotionally. So you're right, guys. When I go in there, I want to rescue the family. I want to set the family up to succeed succeed and make it to college and have the funds to get their kids to college and protect their house and all those things. That's why I'm such a raving maniac, because it isn't about the bar to me. The bar is the way that I fix the family, the way I get in. But there's a lot more to this than just, bricks and mortar.
John, you're really big on having identity, signage, having a theme. The theme's got to match the name of the bar, what the bar looks like.
Yep.
So if someone was starting a bar, if you were coming in and you were advising someone, what would be the best, let's say, theme of a bar to make most money? What would be the most generic thing you would say, do this and it'll work?
Well, it depends upon market demographics to some degree, guys, right? Older, younger, et cetera. This season we did some bars in Boca Raton, Florida, much older demographic than it would be in your market, for example.
Good point.
So I would look at the demographics and understand who I'm building the bar for. I would also not be trendy. Every trend ends. Remember cigar bars? Here and gone. Martini bars? Here and gone. Ultra lounges? Here and gone.
Yeah.
Trends end. Do something that's mainstream, that has a big footprint, that people 40 and people 25 can enjoy. The bigger the footprint, the greater the mass appeal. And I've learned as a bar guy, I don't want to do niche things. Niche things are very risky. I have a smaller market, and they might not like what I did. Broad appeal operations, mainstream broad appeal operations are always the ones that have the least amount of risk. But you can't be everything to everybody. You can't play a country song, then a classic rock song, then a hip-hop song. Nobody will stay. You have to understand who you are, who you're targeting in that market, and be everything to someone, not something to everyone.
I think food is the dividing line for a lot. A lot of places up here, I've noticed, the ones that are doing the best do very little, if any, food. There's nothing wrong with a warm atmosphere of wood and brick, maybe a fireplace, and just have terrific liquor and beer and wine and a good jukebox and go. Open the doors. It seems when people lapse into food, now that's a kind of a different animal, isn't it?
Well, yes. But many bar operators are not great kitchen people. So, they're not very good at it.
Right.
Restaurant people are better bar people than bar people are restaurant people, to be honest with you. But sometimes, though, food is critical. Do you know when you eat food in a bar, you stay 52 minutes longer? That's the average statistic. The average person consumes 1.5 drinks that first hour, 1.25 drinks each hour thereafter. So if I get you to stay 52 minutes longer, I just sold you another drink or maybe two. So you never sell food without selling drinks, but you can sell drinks without selling food. So I believe that same bar you described, if they just had something, chips, finger sandwiches, two-level covered crackers with crab, something.
Sure.
Create a food experience. Their length of stay would increase, and they'll sell far more drinks, too.
Jon Taffer, Bar Rescue, Sunday night, 10 o'clock, all new season. John, when are you coming to Columbus? Because me and Jerry want to be your spies.
Next time I do, we'll certainly reach out to you guys. Years ago, I consulted to the Holiday Inn there, and we used to do the event after Ohio State games in the parking lot out there.
On Lane Avenue.
I'll never forget it. Yep, and I'll never forget it. This is years ago. And so we worked with that hotel in creating all those programs and stuff. And we used to do like $250,000 in 3 hours out there.
Wow, it's insane. Wow.
That was something else. Unfortunately, I think it was only, 7 games a year or something like that?
Yeah, 6, yeah.
4 games would have been great, but yeah, I love Columbus.
Hey,
I look forward to coming back.
And John, before we let you go, let's give a plug here. You're in the liquor game. You have your brown butter bourbon. I'm a bourbon drinker. Tell me.
Ooh, so I'm walking through Taffer's Tavern, and they're making brown butter. And I take the brown butter and I pour it in a plastic cooking bag, fill it with whiskey, and boil it for 4 hours. Take it out, put it in the walk-in. The butter coagulates to the top. I skim the top, pour it through a coffee filter, and brown butter bourbon was born. We put it in a cocktail in the Taffer's Tavern. We're selling 1,000 a month, guys. It's called the Campfire.
Wow.
We can't keep it on the shelf. So we're making brown butter in the kitchen all the time. So I said, okay, we got to make this product. So we created Taffer's Brown Butter Bourbon. We launched in Boston and Las Vegas just a few months ago. That's the way you do it, Spirit. You launch in 2 cities, and then you go national from there. It's off the charts successful. We're in over 600 stores in Boston, a couple hundred bars in Vegas as well. So we're really excited about it, and we'll be going national with it pretty soon.
Yeah, let us know.
All
Let us know when we
right.
can get it in Ohio, and we'll have you on again.
And I will come with bottle in hand, gentlemen.
Beautiful. Thanks, John.
Thank you,
love
sir.
the show, man.
Thanks. Nice to talk, guys. Be well.